So the Nissan Z NIZMO has been teased. You guys have probably seen this video. And let's kind of talk about, is it going to be the king of the streets in this market segment? If you've seen my previous video, the C8 Corvette can now be tuned by HB tuners. Which will that make that the king of the street? Well, let's talk about what the Nissan NIZMO Z might actually be. And is it going to be any good? What's up, guys? Back in the office once again. Let's talk about the new Nissan NIZMO Z. There's no release date for this, but as prior to the other generations, the NIZMO Z usually came with more horsepower. So let's talk about the way that the Nissan NIZMO Z looks. It looks pretty good. The rear is timeless. It looks great. I think the regular Z, for that matter, looks really good in the rear. That's its strongest point. And in the front, it looks pretty good too. I guess we're going to have to play the video just to check to see what it does look like. And honestly, it's a good looking car. It really is. There's not very many inside touches as per se. Here's a good look at the front. It looks a lot better than the one now. Does the one now look terrible? I would say terrible. It looks okay. But the front looks a lot better. A lot more air cooling. Because remember, this is a twin turboed V6 engine. Other than that, there's not much design cues. The interior, there is better NIZMO seats, as you can see right here. Other than that, maybe the premium screen that you would get comes standard. Everything probably that's premium comes standard. There's a better steering wheel. But other than that, there's really not much difference as far as that goes. Now, Car and Driver is speculating that the NIZMO version could have 500 horsepower, and I will link this in the description down below, but the base car makes 400 horsepower and 350 pound-feet of torque. So how does 400 horsepower go up against the cars in its class? Because that's right around where the American Muscle is and whatnot. Let's see, because Throttle House, I don't know if you guys have seen this video, did a drag race with this vehicle, the Nissan Z, against a Mustang GT and a Challenger Scat Pack. So let's go ahead and see what happens in this drag race. And as you can see, the Nissan's not doing too great. Now, I do believe that all of these are manuals except for... Oh, they're all manuals. Okay. So, I mean, it's fair. That's a fair race. All manuals, no one's automatic. And, of course, the Mustang takes it. Now, here's the problem with the Nissan Z is it's pretty heavy. And this outcome does make sense. Now, a roll race, I don't think changes much. But the Nissan Z is actually pretty heavy, honestly. And the gearing's not that great either. The gearing seems to be pretty bad for any kind of racing whatsoever. Now, the NIZMO Z, I should say, might change things with the bump in horsepower and better gearing. Now, if we look at a roll race, the Z does pretty well. It gets second place because the Mustang, that high revving engine, it's also about the same weight as the Z, but it has 60 more horsepower, so that makes sense. But the Challenger loses and gets third because it weighs a lot more than the other two cars, and horsepower just can't back it up. Now, the gearing isn't that great in the Z. I think that is seriously going to change in the NIZMO Z, but these are the cars that this is going up against. Can it be the king of the streets? It is possible. These are already being tuned. Some of them are making 600 crank horsepower, well over 500 rear wheel horsepower already, because it already has twin turbos. And if they beef up the engine, maybe even a little bit, you're going to be able to crank out even more horsepower. So the NIZMO Z, as long as it's priced really well, which is hopefully in the 50K range, like in between 50 and 60K, these are going to be animals and cars to reckon with on the street. Not only in stock form, but I think once they're tuned and whatnot, they're going to be the king of the streets for cheap horsepower. Because doing a full bolt-on E85, whether it's the Camaro, the Mustang GT, or the Challenger, this will beat them full bolt-on versus full bolt-on versus full bolt-on. When you do mod for mod, this will win. And I know some people are saying, well, it's already twin turbocharged. Okay, I get it. We knew that. But because of how well the V8s make powerful bolt on the 85, if you this is just going to be cheaper to do. It's not very expensive. Just a tune's going to give you 50 horsepower, if not more. So I think the new Nissan NIZMO Z is going to be a fantastic car. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Are you seriously interested in one of these? If you have a Mustang, a Challenger, or Camaro, are you thinking about maybe switching to the Nissan NIZMO Z because of its potential and how much power it can put out? It's probably going to have better gearing. The automatic is probably going to be insane if you're solely wanting to race. I don't know if there's going to be a manual in this. We just don't know. But let me know what you guys think. I think this car is going to be awesome. I'd love to see more competition on the road, and I'd love to race one in my Pro Charged Mustang GT. That's it with me, and I'll see you guys in the next one.